So welcome to our virtual family council meeting. My name is Jamie Rose. I am your virtual meeting coordinator. We're going to review our confidentiality reminder at this time. Please refrain from using the name of your loved one. Do not name specific facilities. Please use a nursing home or the personal care home to present to the group. If you need specific assistance, please use the chat feature to state which county you're in, and we'll get you connected to your assigned ombudsman. And just a reminder that these calls have public access and are designed for family members and friends of residents in long-term care. Review our meeting agenda. We're going to get our virtual meeting tips from Jay, and then we're going to start our watch party involving voting rights. And then we're going to round it off with our upcoming meeting topics. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Mr. Rotz.
Thank you, Jamie, and welcome everybody. You've all been placed upon mute. Upon entering, we'll open the lines in a bit so that you're able to share. If you would like to speak or have a question, please use the raise hand feature. Once you raise your hand, we'll know to acknowledge you and unmute your line. The chat feature is at the bottom of your screen as well. Once you maximize it, you will be able to chat with the presenters or anyone else during the meeting. If you need to step away, you can stop sharing your camera by clicking on the camera icon also at the bottom of your screen. You can click on it again to start your camera again. And finally, concerns or complaints or questions can be directed to the State Ombudsman Office. My number is 717-783-8975 or by email at ltc-ombudsman, OMBUDSMAN @pa.gov. Jamie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Jay. Now I'm going to see if I can get the video to play. Please bear with me.
Good afternoon. This has been an issue that, especially after the primary election, we all realized, oh, maybe the process hasn't gone so well and residents aren't quite aware of the rights or they weren't actually respected. So we thought we'd review resident rights in regards to voting and how that process should go. So we want to make sure that you are aware of things and helping your loved ones prepare for the election in the fall. So we'll give you some resources and hopefully that'll help you through and help you help your family members. Especially since I know a lot of nursing homes and personal care homes have been designated polling places in the past, and that could not happen this spring. So most likely that will not be the case in the fall either. So we want to make sure you're prepared with all those resources. So next slide, please. So a citizen's right cannot be discriminated upon based on race, ethnicity, national origin, or being a member of what they call a language minority, which in this country is essentially meaning you're not an English speaker as your primary language. So Pennsylvania provides voter registration forms in English, Spanish, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, and Vietnamese. If your county happens to have 5% of the population speaking another language of any minority language, the county must provide voting information and services in that population's language. Currently in Pennsylvania, only Berks, Lehigh, and Philadelphia counties are the only ones required to provide this information in another language, and that is Spanish. Obviously, voters should not be intimidated or coerced on their voting decisions. Seniors with a disability can vote independently and privately. We'll elaborate on those a little bit further here. Next slide, please. Okay. So in order to vote, obviously the primary issue is being registered first. For the general election, November 3rd, you must be registered to vote by October 19th, 2020. So I'd say if you're not already registered or your family member isn't, make sure that is the case. To check if a family member or yourself are registered to vote and where your polling place would be, you can check on pavoterservices.pa.gov. You'll enter your county, your zip code, your first and last names, and your date of birth. So it's pretty easy. You probably know that information for your family member. If that voter registration is verified, you get sent to a page where it gives you your active status, your party affiliation, your congressional and Senate districts, as well as your polling place address. I actually spoke with my election office today to determine if that would include mail-in and absentee ballots instead of the polling place, and they're not sure right now. There's a lot of changes that are in the works for the system there. So hopefully this fall they will be. You must be a citizen of the United States at least 30 days prior to the election. And you must be a resident of the district you're going to vote in for at least 30 days prior to the election as well. If you happen to have a family member who's temporarily at a different location than their permanent address, they are advised to vote in their permanent residence. So keep that in mind. Make sure that if your family member just moved to a different address, they are completing a voter registration card for their address change. This is different than what you'd fill out at the Postal Service or through any other address change process, because that doesn't always necessarily get transferred over to your elections office. Your long-term care homes are required to respect residents' voting rights. But unfortunately, that's pretty much what the regulations say, respect voting rights. So the regulations offer very little guidance on meeting this obligation to respect voter rights. Most homes do recognize their role, though. They facilitate voter registration, access ballots, and submit ballots for their residents. If your loved one wants your assistance rather than the home's assistance to do this, make sure that you communicate with their, most likely their activities director, to not double dip in this process or duplicate your efforts. Next slide, please. Okay, absentee and mail-in ballots are, I think, going to be most important for our long-term care residents. When you're in a long-term care home, a voter is eligible for an absentee ballot due to illness or physical disability, because they're unable to go to the polls or use voting machines, or just need assistance with the process. Mail-in ballots essentially follow the same rules as absentee ballots. It's just that anyone can do them. I signed up myself for a mail-in ballot, just not knowing what the fall will bring to us. So the same guidelines essentially will apply. You can request for absentee and mail-in ballots an annual absentee or mail-in ballot. So once you receive the ballot, you can request and elect to receive that every year. The reapplication will be mailed to you automatically, and you just make sure that you reapply each year. Keep in mind, there are timelines for this. So once you're registered to vote, you must apply for the absentee ballot or mail-in ballot at least 7 days prior to the election. So this year, for the general election, that's going to be October 27th. I strongly encourage you to apply earlier than that. There's been so many issues with mail and getting what you need. You want to make sure you apply. If that's going to be the process you use, make sure you apply sooner than later, because I don't trust that 7-day turnaround. They're going to mail you an application. You're going to mail back the application. They'll mail you a ballot, and you mail back your ballot. A 7-day turnaround is very tight. So make sure you do that. The ballot must be returned and received by the elections office by 8 p.m. on election night. So do that as soon as you feel comfortable with your votes. Several counties were granted extensions in the primary elections, but we can't necessarily guarantee that. So you want to make sure you you get in on time. Otherwise, there's very little option for you there. The county election office will send out ballots after they confirm candidates and proposals on the ballot. This is usually about mid-October, so you have a couple of weeks before the election to have your due diligence and do any research that you might need to. Right. The only other option really is a provisional vote at your polling place, which is not an option at this point for a lot of our consumers. You can track the status of your mail-in or absentee ballot online. It'll tell you when your application has been received, processed, when your ballot's been mailed, when your ballot's been received. So you can confirm closure of the process. And that address is on the screen there, pavoterservices.pa.gov. Unfortunately, it's not currently active because there's no ballots pending. So don't worry about that too much if you get a blank page like I did today. Emergency absentee ballot applications are available if you didn't expect to need one within the last 7 days, but that's quite a process and they need to be delivered back to the offices by election day, 8 p.m. Voter identification has been a controversy ongoing for the past few years. Although you have to write on your application, whether it be your social security number, your PennDOT photo ID, your driver's license number, there are a couple of sources they use to verify your identity, but ultimately absentee ballot voters are exempt from the voter ID process. So if you can't get a hold of that or you're assisting with that process, don't worry too much about that, but that makes it just as important to submit these things early. I spoke directly with our local county election offices, and they indicated that they work directly with the activities directors, and they knew each one of their names. So I was really impressed. They are working with our activities departments in nursing homes and personal care homes. So you can feel a little bit of security there that they are working on these things. And actually, I was surprised. They really hold them to the expectations of turning in those ballots in a timely manner and can even take them to the courts if they don't do so. So there is a level of accountability there that they do submit those absentee ballots on behalf of residents. Next page, please. Okay, so not everyone can vote completely independently, especially if there's absentee ballots. That can be confusing, at least if it's your first time. So the voter application form will ask you what kind of issues do you have that you might need help with voting, whether it be vision or hearing impairments, limited English speaking proficiency, difficulty reading, or any other physical disability. The Voting Accessibility for Elderly and Handicapped Act requires access to polling places or an alternative, which in this case would be absentee ballots potentially, as well as voting aids, large font instructions, telecommunication devices for the deaf, and full ADA compliance, including ramps and such at your polling place. It also allows your polling place officials to move anyone who's 70 years or older to the front of the line. So, that's worth taking advantage of. Just speak with your officials at your polling place. Residents also have the right to choose their own person that they would feel comfortable with assisting with this process, because it is a very personal process. So privacy is a concern. A resident cannot, if they can't physically mark their candidates on the ballot, they have to choose someone else to do so for them. And it should be someone they trust, that they don't mind someone who knows these choices. I spoke with one of my residents who has quadriplegia, and I asked how he does this process, because it can be difficult and exposing. You don't necessarily want people to know who you vote for. He didn't have a problem with it, so it didn't bother him so much because he wasn't shy, but a lot of us prefer more privacy in our voting choices. So the same confidentiality standards that apply to medical issues and care plans should also apply to voting choices. So keep that in mind. That is just another reason why you choose a trusted person as well. If going to the polls, a consumer or a voter can sign a declaration of need for assistance to vote. That probably won't apply to too many of our consumers here, but that is available so that they can show, yes, I do need assistance, and gain that from the polling place. Next slide, please. Okay, I believe this came up quite a bit in our previous meetings, or at least maybe in the chats. So there's always questions as to who can vote. Residents with impairments still have the right to vote. A voter just must be able to communicate their voting choices without any influence by their voting assistant. If a voter cannot communicate their wishes, the assistant cannot mark the ballot. There was a court case that helped to clarify this a little bit. So a federal district court decided that voters are only incompetent to vote if they, quote, lack the capacity to understand the nature and effect of voting, but they cannot make an individual choice, end quote. So the challenge in this is having an actual practical assessment of one's functional ability to vote. At this point, there is no such assessment to guide families or staff at the homes to determine who is appropriate to vote. So when these qualifications are in question, a resident should be considered eligible to vote. And ultimately, without that clear assessment available at this point, if a resident states their wish to vote, they should be assisted to do so. They should not be denied the opportunity to vote. So the capacity obviously changes as a resident goes into later stages of cognitive decline, but studies have found that earlier stages of Alzheimer's, residents are able to grasp the concept and choose for themselves. The later stages, not so much, unfortunately. So that is really decided on a case-by-case basis, and that should be a discussion with each resident. So as long as the resident understands the, quote, nature and effect of voting, their reasons for voting, and their choices should not be questioned. It's not relevant what the rest of us think about why somebody chose to vote in a certain way, as usual. So our county elections offices do not remove voters from the registration list unless, under rare circumstances, they get a court order. This would happen if there is a guardianship assignment, and under extreme circumstances, even under guardianship, that can be decided that they are no longer able to vote. That in no way means that someone under guardianship is not able to vote. In Pennsylvania, that is allowed, except for under those extreme circumstances where there's a special court order that says that they cannot. Otherwise, voters are not removed from the registration list unless they have been confirmed as passing away. The Department of Health sends monthly or bi-monthly reports to each voter office, elections office, to alert them of who on their voter registration list has passed away. So those lists are not updated otherwise. The home should not be determining who is an eligible voter according to that registration. Next page, please. Okay, so this has been a major issue. I think it was back in 2016 for Resident Rights Month, we focused on voting. And one of the biggest challenges that we faced was access to accurate and unbiased information about our candidates and about the issues. So it's especially difficult when newspapers are going out of business and we don't have access to those distributions. They're unaffordable for a lot of our residents, and they're not being shared amongst residents right now, especially because of COVID times. So we have to find other ways to make sure residents are getting information about their candidates. TV news can be a real challenge. Obviously, it can be very polarizing. So That's a good option for some, not others so much. And obviously, our seniors have limited access to online news sources as well. So this is where, as family members, you might be able to step in and offer your residents some information. So on the screen there's a few websites that offer unbiased, nonpartisan options for learning about your candidates. Vote411.org gives you information in Spanish and English. You just type in your actual address and it brings up all the candidates that are assigned to your area and tells you about their job duties for that position, their individual platforms and backgrounds and contact information, so social media, and you can even find debate videos. So that could be a really great resource. Obviously, you can't necessarily print out a debate video and send it to your family member, but if they have online access, maybe you can forward that on. But you can print information and mail or email it to loved ones so that they can make more informed decisions. So this will be better updated. This site is not full at this point because we're just early on in the process. Also, ballotready.org/PA, you can find information specific to your candidates, their experience, education, their stances on key issues, and it really lays it out so that you can determine who's the best candidate for your situation. USA.gov/voter-research provides a very similar resource, but also tells you a lot about the background of the government processes. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you yourself, as well as relaying that information to your family members. Next page, please. Okay, and finally, complaints. I think probably everybody had experienced some negative aspects of the primary election, in either lack of access to ballots or the process just didn't go very smoothly for us. So the Department of State is responsible for our elections process. They accept complaints from registered voters. So the name and the address on the complaint must match the voter registration for that complaint to be filed appropriately. Complaints can be filed online at votespa.com. And you can also use their voter hotline, 1-877-VOTES-PA. Potential election law violations are investigated possibly by your county board of elections, your county DA, and even the Pennsylvania Attorney General. So when I spoke with our county elections officer, they really seem to take their job very seriously and should have high expectations for your long-term care staff in making sure that they are following procedures and respecting residents' rights to vote. And if they are not doing so, obviously that should be reported. They even, like I said, take them to court at times if need be. So if the home failed to assist with or hindered this process for a resident to take advantage of their right to vote, a complaint can be filed also with the licensing agency. As you probably know, that's the Department of Health for nursing homes and the Department of Human Services for personal care homes and assisted living residents. You can also obviously contact your local ombudsman. We can help you through and investigate that complaint and remedy those concerns and make sure it doesn't happen again, but keep in mind that we don't have that enforcement and punitive authority that those other agencies above do have. So hopefully we'll not experience the same difficulties we did in the primaries, but we're looking forward to the general election, and hopefully you can get your applications and absentee ballots in as soon as possible. That's all I have. Any questions?
All right. Does anybody have any questions? Corey is so kind to be back with us today live. So if anybody has any questions, hopefully Corey can assist.
Jamie, I appreciate you, writing the key points into the chat for everyone to keep in mind. So far, I don't see any questions.
Has anybody had any experience with, any concerns with voting in long-term care at all? I tried to update all the dates for us too, Corey.
Thank you. That's good news. No one's having issues. So I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. All right, Corey, you might luck out.
Yeah, good, because that presentation was 2 years ago. It's a lot of information to retain. So glad everyone absorbed it.
I still can't believe it's been 2 years since that one. All right, well, if anybody has any questions for Corey or anything on voting, feel free to put that in the chat, and we'll get that answered as best we can for you. So our upcoming meeting topics, as you know, we are now monthly with our meetings. So October 18th is going to be our next meeting, and we are going to cover residents' rights since October is Residents' Rights Month. So we're going to share a little bit about what we're doing here in Pennsylvania, and those actually will be coming out soon for all of our ombudsmen on the call. And we're going to share, some things that others have done, at your facility. If you've heard of anything that the staff or anyone is doing, you can share that at that meeting as well. And then November 15th, we are going to have a program for to learn more about veterans programs and services. So hopefully everyone will join us for those 2 meetings. And what we do plan to do is share more on the Facebook page. So any upcoming trainings or anything pertaining to residents' rights or things like that, we will keep posting that to the Facebook page. So please check back. Any of the big ones we'll try to send at the listserv, but we try not to send a whole bunch of email to everybody because I don't know about you guys, but I get a ton every day. So we try to keep that to a minimum. So any questions, let us know. And that's all I have. So any questions? Everybody's just tired. That's okay. But if anybody does have any questions, pop over to the chat area on the Facebook page. And remember, we're cross-posting now to YouTube. So there's a lot of information. I went a little crazy getting us caught up in the last 2 weeks. So if you haven't stopped at the YouTube, I added a lot more videos. We have about 31 videos up on the YouTube page now. So you should be caught up. Alrighty, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Let us know if you have any specific concerns or questions. Those go straight to Jay. So 717-783-8975, or you can email him at ltc-ombudsman@pa.gov, or hop over to social media and get in touch with me or Caitlin over at the chat area. So have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.